Hey, hello, my friend. I pray that this finds you well from wherever you are tuning in. It's a beautiful morning out here in Kansas City. We're expecting 5 days of 70-degree weather, and that for me is a little heaven down here. So, today I want to talk to you about guarding your thoughts. Not just guarding your thoughts, but guarding your words. And not just guarding your thoughts and your words, but also guarding your actions. I was thinking of the scripture in Proverbs chapter 4 that says, guard your heart with all diligence, because from it flows the issues of life. In other words, the things that we allow into our hearts, into our minds, into our consciousness end up driving our lives. The wisest man to ever live said that as a man thinketh, so is he. And scripture tells us to renew our mind with truth. It tells us to keep our minds stayed on him, stayed on God. In Philippians, it says that whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are praiseworthy, whatsoever things are excellent, think upon these things. Joyce Meyer wrote a book written The Battleground of the Mind. And I want to suggest to you that the battleground is not just in the mind, but the battleground is also for your mind, because whoever controls your mind controls your life. We are living in an attention economy where everybody is trying to get your attention, from social media to the news outlets to family and friends and culture. And at the end of the day, whoever gets your attention and gets to influence your thinking influences your life. So think of yourself as a watchman that decides who to let in, as a gatekeeper who decides what to let in your mind. And in the words of the wisest man, Proverbs, guard your heart with all diligence, because from it flows your life. You know what else scripture tells us to guard? Our words. In the book of James, it says that our words are like a flame, a fire that can set a forest ablaze. In another part of scripture, it says that the power of life and death is in the tongue, and whoever loves it shall eat its fruit. Listen, our words have creative power. We are created in the image of God, and guess how God created this beautiful sunset, the sun, the moon, and everything? Genesis 1 tells us he spoke it. And we have that same creative power in our words. Guard your heart. Guard your tongue. Choose your words carefully. And then the last thing, my friend, guard your actions. I find that when we guard our hearts, our minds, and we guard our tongues, then the actions tend to follow. You see, scripture says to do unto others as we would like done unto us. Listen, Myron Golden said this one thing that stuck with me and that I want to share with you, that every thought is a seed. Every word is a seed. Every action is a seed. And the seeds that you and I plant in those three ways is architecting our life one way or the other. There's no middle ground. We don't get a vote on that. But we do get a vote on what kind of seed that you and I want to plant. So that's it, my friend. Be intentional. Don't live on default. Be intentional by being the gatekeeper that decides what comes into your consciousness. Be intentional about the words that you allow to come out of your mouth. By the way, if you guard your heart, the words take care of themselves, because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? But also be intentional about your actions. One of the greatest laws of this universe is the law of giving and receiving, of sowing and reaping. In science, we say every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, everything that you put out will come back to you. So plant those seeds intentionally. Put out seeds of life. Put out seeds of truth. Put out seeds of goodness in your thinking, in your words, and in your actions. Cast your bread upon the water, as Solomon said, and after many days it shall come to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's it, my friend. Have an intentional and hyper attentional day. Blessings.